Ah, crap. Hold on. I got my fucking Twitter saved as the broadcast. All right. Cheers, everybody. And welcome to episode 52 of your favorite late night Friday night Hashcast. It is Variables, and we are your hosts, Frigoli and Superior Buds. Tonight, we have another special guest coming back, actually, for, is it the third time? Were you part of the 420 event? I don't remember if you were there or not.
Second
time. Okay, we got ProfessorDab's back again tonight. Cheers, everybody. Hope you all are doing well.
Let's go.
Cheers, man.
I can't wait to burn some hash, and that makes me think of the back of your shirt, Professor Dab. Can you go ahead and turn around and show that to me? I saw it walking away. I got to share it with everybody. It's pretty good. Sorry, I was burning more hash.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's the homies.
How are you doing tonight, Professor?
Man, we are doing well, man. Just got home not too long ago from a dispensary event today, actually. Been doing some brand ambassador work for a new gummy company out here in Illinois.
Nice.
They're called OGs. Let me see if I got a bag of them.
You better have a bag, Mr. Brand Ambassador.
Wow. Let's go. OG. So these are in Illinois dispensaries. These are a legal product that you can buy in the dispensary. However, they've been getting really great reviews, not only just on taste and flavor, but on the effects too. And specifically myself, I've been using them and I love them. They have an RSO gummy that I think is absolutely amazing. And I swear by it. I know it's the MSO shit, so no, a lot of guys don't, have their say about it, especially the guys who are just kind of in the gray market.
Listen, if there's one thing I'm horrible at making, it's gummies. So that is one thing I don't mind every once in a while stopping by a dispensary and grabbing, just because edibles are probably the only thing I am going to buy from a dispensary. But that being said, tell us a little bit more. So you said they got RSO, but do they have are there distillate ones or live gummies with hash ones?
Yeah. So most of them are made with distillate. They do have one that is made with the RSO. They do have a rosin gummy that they're trying to launch out here. They have it in Arizona. However, I don't know if I'm supposed to tell this, but we're just looking for like a good rosin source, I believe, before we can get it going. And I think that's the only thing holding them back. Other than that, the distillate gummies, they work really well. Apparently, I've had a few people try them and they think that they might be like a little higher dose than what they say, because they work very effectively. And I think that could just be the formula of how they've been produced. And it's just working really well. Yeah. And they're great. I mean, I use the RSO gummy almost every night. I get some of the best sleep, and I even wake up high, and I only take like 1 or 2, and that's like 20 milligrams.
Nice. Okay. I was curious to know if they're like 10, 15, 20, 25, something like that. Do you guys have limits in Illinois for like the milligrams per package?
Yeah, we can only have 100 milligrams, period. Nothing higher than that will be in a dispensary.
Yeah, it's similar here in Michigan, at least for the rec side. I think medical has a little bit more leeway there, but as we know, here in Michigan, it's less than 0.5% or something like that is the medical side now in terms of sales volume. So
yeah, these will say on there 100 milligrams, somewhere around here. Yeah, 100 milligrams.
So what flavor? That says Sunny Sativa. What the hell kind of flavor is that?
So it's got a peach, red apple, and a watermelon inside.
Oh, okay. A little bit of a.
I'll show you what it looks like.
A little variety
right now. Let's
eat one right now. Let's do it. Well, that's cool.
Oh, interesting. It's almost like a hot air balloon or a onion shape or something.
Yeah,
onion.
Definitely like an onion shape for sure. A little
interesting
teardrop or a water droplet.
Right. That's one of the things I think that's kind of important for gummies is mouthfeel, if you will. And shape has a lot to do with that. Edges and things like that have a lot to do with that. I guess that's part of the geometry of the shape or whatever. But whether or not there's like the powdered sugar, the crystallized sugar, cane sugar, whatever you want to call it, whether or not it's
how big
It's-
each bite is too.
Yeah, that too. Yeah,
Like,
it's,
like they try to pack a lot in each gummy, and all of a sudden you're eating this monster fucker. I don't.
I'm
wanna be
curious
I
to
think
know what
they
the
did the
limit is,
research.
though.
Like some people really want to feel like they're chewing something. They don't want it to just dissolve really quickly. And a lot of the ones on the market just have that, like, as soon as you put it in your mouth, it kind of just dissolves fast. This has takes a couple chews to get through. And I think that's a better experience because it's like, it's giving you that almost like that, that candy feel where you're enjoying a piece of candy, you're about to get medicated, but you have a few moments that you're actually chewing it so you can actually enjoy that experience versus something that just melts away in a quick split second and you're like, what the fuck was that?
Right.
Just-
So the way you're
Keep
describing
getting
this
some
makes
flavor.
me think it's a gelatin based recipe and not
It
a
is.
okay. So
Mhm.
I'm partial to the fruit pectin recipes. I know that's not everyone's favorite, but it certainly is mine. And I think I know what you're saying about that dissolving because that's kind of what you get out of a fruit pectin. It more dissolves, right? Kind of like melts in your mouth versus like really sticking together and chewing it like a gummy bear, or like a one of those sour worms or something that you kind of really expect out of a
Right.
gummy, right? That said, I just think fruit pectin is the superior way to do it. I think it's a little bit more challenging, and I think there's some pH balance issues that not everyone can sort out. And again, this is coming from someone that can't make fucking gummies to save his life. Like it's just not my lane. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, that's what I prefer. To me, a fruit pectin gummy feels denser, but like you're saying, it more just it's like it melts in your mouth. It doesn't like hold that
That
chewy
chew.
gummy. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And again, if that's what you're looking for, I get it. Go with the gelatin kind of style. But I guess the one thing, if we want to call it that, the a pro that the fruit pectin ones have over the gelatin is typically gelatin is sourced from like animal parts or whatever. So I believe the fruit pectin one is considered vegan, right? Is it or gluten free or one of the two? Maybe both. I don't know. I know there's like some extra labeling they get to throw on the packaging there, but outside of that, man, it's just a personal preference thing, right?
Yeah. This one, the rosin gummy that they're supposed to come out with is supposed to be an all vegan based gummy. So there's not supposed to be any gelatin in it, which would be nice because there are people who, again, don't want the gelatin at all. So we can't even get them to even try our product at all.
Yeah, and that kind of makes sense if you're doing that with the rosin, versus the distillate or RSO or something else that's going to use some form of solvent, right? Whether it's ethanol or hydrocarbon or something like that. I guess if you're going all in on the labels, you might as well use your solventless product, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So speaking of edibles and whatnot, Spear brought something up pre-show, and I've been seeing billboards for this thing everywhere, and I have yet to try one because, again, I don't really go to dispensaries ever, and if I'm going to buy something, it's probably going to be an edible. But this is, I guess, an edible. Buzzing, THC beverage. Have you guys, anybody out there in chat, you guys ever tried this before? I'm curious to hear you guys' thoughts, and also Superior. What do you think, man? As he's choking down the dab, that I'm putting him on the spot right now.
Let's go.
My
I
apologies.
want a dab.
I just did a dab too. I need to coat my throat.
There we go. Yep.
Welcome back.
Should have drank something before I hit that.
All right.
That's
always
Cupid's thing, right? It's sit before you rip.
all right. So buzzing.
Whoops.
Still going, ladies and gentlemen.
That one
Yo,
kinda
that's
grabbed me by
funny.
the boo-boo.
What you smoking over there, brother?
Yeah, now I'm curious.
This is honey banana tonight. Not much left in here.
Where'd you get that
Oh,
one
there you
from?
Same.
Squirtle Clem.
On the cold cure too, I see.
I've tried a lot around. and I can compare it against my own. This is, I mean, it's not my hash rosin, but it's a
Whose
good
mids is this?
Ooh.
Who invited this guy?
Just kidding. Gotta love it.
So the buzzin', I've had it once before. It was a freebie both times. I don't normally do edibles. I didn't like the flavor. The first one I got was watermelon, and it was that very fake watermelon.
Yeah, that's a hard one, man. That's a hard flavor to.
And then watermelon mixed with watermelon mixed with the little bit of medicated flavor from like there was a little hint of it coming through, like the edible flavor that you get.
Yeah, the green.
I didn't enjoy it. Didn't feel it either, but
What's the milligrams per?
I'm actually not sure. See if you can read it. Let's see.
I thought I saw 75 or something on there. Oh, 7.5. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Hold on while I drink 10 of these. What?
Yeah, and they're huge, so
yeah, I guess we could probably do better in the
it's even worse if you don't like the flavor.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'll
yeah, that makes me think of a lot of like just makes me think of like drinking Coronas. Like, yeah, Corona. I was gonna say Corona Light, but I guess that's the thing. Just Coronas. Like drinking Corona to me is like drinking a slightly shitty flavored water. You know, like, yeah, you gotta spritz it up with some lime and make it taste okay, but you know, it's not like it's not doing anything for you except maybe just packing on some calories to your diet. You know, I don't know. It's just,
right. Yeah, no, I'm not a beer drinker anyways, so in light beer is just bad beer.
yeah,
I don't know. But which one are you? What
do you got over there? That looks like a.
It's called the Bomb Official.
Hadn't seen that one.
Like the Puffco, but it's cheaper. Works just as good. It's got a nice little digital display on the back.
That's cool.
What's the price tag on something like that?
$179.
Not bad.
Much more affordable. Yeah.
Far
I mean,
more
having
affordable.
more alternatives is always good.
100%. Yeah, more competition.
Yeah.
I mean,
Drive some innovation.
Honestly, Puffco is overrated for the price, and if you pay $400 and it breaks on you after the year warranty is up, you just wasted a lot of money on.
Yeah, kind of SOL.
So I decided to go with this company. I've been repping them for a couple months now, and it works unbelievably well. I don't know if you saw that first cloud. That fucker was fat.
I have a tote full of failed ways to dab. Just random shit from the years, you know. Tried them all, and just I keep going back to quartz. I do want to find a good e-nail, but man, after frying myself a few times because I'm stupid and get stoned and touch it.
Just habits, man. You got to break the habit and just.
When I first switched from bongs and went right to an e-nail, that was rough. Trying to carb the fucking bowl and grabbed it.
Yeah.
Just
you know what I find? It's the routine. Like I've tried to perfect my dabbing routine to a ridiculous degree. So much so that I created my tray which I presented last show that we did, because it helps me with my routine. It helps me with my flow. When I don't have a place to put things and pick them up when I'm dabbing, specifically the traditional dab method, it makes it that much harder because like I'm kind of in disarray with everything, and it makes me more likely to break, drop, or burn myself on my torch or the banger.
100%.
And again, my methods are not, 100%. There's still flaws in there. I still get the occasional dab tattoo, you know what I'm saying? I'm touching my torch, or accidentally picking up the banger on accident. It was too hot or some shit. But other than, you know, just little things like that, you learn from those mistakes and you try to continue forward. However, there are people who make the mistakes very repeatedly, which means you do have some form of bad routine and technique that we could potentially eliminate, but it's up to the person to want to get, you know, to make that better for them, their experience.
I'm definitely a creature of habit as well. I
Mhm.
have a place for everything, and it's muscle memory, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And for the show, my microphone's in the way, so I have to like shift shit. So
Big facts.
which I really have to pay attention during the show, because if I'm not thinking, my torch is really close to my dab rig, which is close to my dab right. It's like it's fucking just dominoes waiting to happen. at some point.
I got to get you at one of my dab trays. You'd
Well,
love it.
Awesome.
Would sit
I
on
do.
the-
Did I
He's
show?
got a
off-
big enough desk.
Did I show you
Right.
the dab tray that I picked up?
He does have one.
Let's see it. Is it silicone or 3D printed? Is it just a tray?
That's just my copper tray,
Got it.
but then a little mat on it.
That's not bad for being a tray.
But
Just
I don't use really the tray itself. My desk is large, so I just have places.
yeah, we need to get you something where you
Sectors.
can, you know, put your bangers in it.
That's nice. Yeah.
You know,
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I think Superior could really benefit
This
from
is-
something
and
like
being-
that.
this is only
Being
part
wood?
of it,
Are
right?
you kidding me?
Exactly, dude.
That's only part of it. You know, there's my
gorgeous.
middle piece, and then the part for the torches here too. I'll show you. I can pull that up real quick. It's right
I
here.
have a glob mob stand, but I don't like it. Oh, that's awesome, dude.
Right. So you got a spot for your torch. You know,
Oh yeah. Let's
carved
check.
cat.
That's incredible. I love it. That's
And
better
then-
than any of the other ones I've seen. I
And
have
then-
a 3D printed one, a couple of them,
Mhm.
but I don't use them because they're just,
This is the middle piece here.
wow. That's gorgeous, man. Nice job.
Yeah, so it's a 3-piece tray.
What temperature
There you
device
go.
were you using there?
That is the terpometer, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the stand for it. The actual one is it's in my room inside of my
I have the
Polar
original
glass.
terpometer around here somewhere.
How did
I'm
you
prob-
pull that
I'm-
up quick? How did you do that? You pulled it off Instagram?
You can just call me Jamie.
Ha ha ha.
I
That guy's dope. That was it.
got 2 screens and Google's on one of them. That's it.
Nice. There you go. Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah, I just think it helps with the flow. You know, it gives you a place to put things, and it does it. It kind of forces a habit, right? And maybe it's not what people want specifically, and you can kind of move it around to do certain things, have it the opposite, whatever. I actually had one person say, this one girl was like, you know, I just wish it was flipped. And I was like, really? All you gotta do is turn the damn tray around. Like, what the fuck? Like,
Was it a left-handed person? I you know what I mean? Like,
she just really, honestly, just literally, instead of this part being back here, she wanted it up here. And I'm just like, then just turn the motherfucker around.
Right. Spin
Like
your
in-
bangers.
Put it on your table and use it. Like, I don't know. There's nothing else out here but this tray. I mean, I could technically make it for you custom and change that part, but I knew she wasn't a serious buyer. She just wanted to have something bad to say about it because she didn't make it type shit.
Professor, I've got a $500 budget for a new dab rig setup. You tell me, with $500, what are you going with, from the Q-tips to the, you know, the banger and the rig itself? What are we looking at for $500? Ideal, you know, ideal. And we can increase the budget too, but I think $500 is a reasonable expectation for jumping into something, whether it's an e-nail, a Puffco, a blazer torch with a nice class rig, like whatever it is, you're probably talking honestly, like we're not talking budget. We're not talking about just going out and buying $120 thing. Like
yeah, let's run it
$500.
out. I guess I would say we'll start off like if we're going like for kind of some of the best stuff, but not the best, right? Just getting you like a pretty solid setup. If you're doing a torch and a quartz setup where it's you need a banger and you need, so I mean we definitely would recommend the blazer torch right off the bat. Why? Because it's a great torch and it's gonna last you a long time.
What's that run you?
That'll run you about $75 retail.
Okay.
Now, if you know the company or if you can get it
coupon code, use coupon code ProfessorDab.
Do I have a coupon code for that?
I'll just try typing it in. Maybe it'll work.
Right? It might work. Try and type it in. It might work. I don't know.
They're
if they
hard
do
to find
coupon
online
codes there.
sometimes, though, too.
Yeah, that's
Some
true.
companies
you might have
aren't
to go to
doing
your local
coupon
smoke
codes.
shop,
So yeah, we'll go with a blazer torch. If you needed Q-tips, we would recommend Heady Swabs. ProfessorDabs does work if you go to if you go there. Actually, it'll probably be ProfDabs, ProfDabz. But yeah, Heady Swabs on the Q-tips, something like that. It only costs you like less than $5. We'll go with let's go with a MJ Arsenal setup. I don't have it right here because it's in my other room, but MJ Arsenal, very affordable rig. I think they're less than $100 to be honest with you. So you can get a nice little rig set up, 10 millimeter for under $100. If you wanted to upgrade your banger, I probably would recommend, or if not MJ Arsenal, I probably would have said Empire Glass, because those are just affordable rigs, something nice.
Yeah, I'm looking at MJ Arsenal. They're kind of ranging anywhere from looks like $58. I mean,
yep,
a little bit more expensive than that, but like $58, $80, something like that. So for sure under $100.
Yep,
let's just call it 80.
Yep. And
you said the banger was from who?
Banger, I would recommend probably Temple Quartz right off the bat. They're, it's a decent quality quartz. It is China made, or import if not China. But it's a good quality import. Either them or Tiki Quartz. That's gonna range probably like $60 to $70 for a banger, maybe. 50,
yeah, $70 is what I see retail.
Yep.
What's its prices?
Let's see. Dab tool. Now that'll get a little bit pricey. Whoops, drop some shit. But we go with Mystic Timber dab tools. This one's the Dirty Dank. Shout out to the homie Dirty Dank.
I got one of those floating around here too. It's got your name on it though. What's the price of that one?
Those are probably, let me think, they are under $60 for, I think you can get one for $40, just like a regular one.
Okay, we'll just call it 40.
But a special one, like my custom ones, those ones cost a little bit more because they come with like a little perk to it.
So we've got a torch, we got our swabs, we got the rig, the banger, and the dab tool. Are we missing anything? What are we missing?
Just depending on what style of banger you get, depends on if we need a carb cap or not.
Oh yeah, carb cap. You don't want to be using your extract jar; just be melting that shit from the inside. So right. Carb caps, what do those run?
You can get a cheap one from anywhere, really.
Yeah, I mean, smoke shops got them for what, like $5, $6, $7, something like that.
Yeah, probably like less than $20.
Yeah, okay, we'll call it 15. Just try to keep track here to see where we actually end up with this, because I think we got plenty of room to buy some extracts with that $500 at this point.
Right, and then if we get our terp, our terpometer or the dab right now, those run $250 for a dab right.
Okay.
The turpometer will run you $150.
Okay, so let's go with the terpometer, because that's that'll be within our budget.
Yeah, far more affordable. That Squirtle Clem was great, by the way. I didn't even say.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I feel like in comparison to just the squirt itself, like the squirt, I was going for squirt to get the grapefruit terps, similar to grapefruit Durban, something sour, tangy like that, something different in terms of the fruit category, but still citrusy, just sour, tangy, I guess. I think I found it, but it was interesting mixing the clementine with it because, if I asked Superior what I thought clementine would do to squirt, he'd probably just tell me to make it super terpy, right? Well, it didn't. It actually, to me, it felt like it toned down the terp profile, and it kind of flattened it out and gave it more of a more in depth, but not sharp, citrus flavor profile. And it was just overall a smooth, real like nice smooth hit. It wasn't sharp at all. Like
I'd agree.
That's cool.
Like the other,
It's
like the
interesting,
squirt by
the
itself is like kind of
Mhm.
spicy.
Say again?
The squirt by itself is like spicy.
Yeah, it's got a kick, man. It's something in there, like.
Yeah, that's the interaction between the terps is very interesting, though. Being able to take something sharp and bringing it down, but like you said, retain a depth.
Yeah. Still like, because like wasabi, for example, this is 4 different flavors, right? And that wasabi we talked about last week, but it's still like it makes me sneeze. It gets me high in the bridge of the nose. It like makes my head sweat. Like it's just, I don't know. It makes me think of wasabi, But it's a combination of 4 different flavors. And when you do that, it typically, when you go over 3, it typically blends so much it like they're not distinct enough to even really tell the difference. It's like there's so many different terpenes in there, and the
Just
profile
muddies.
becomes it almost muddies it. This was one of those cases where it sort of did that, but you could still tell the distinct parts, especially as it rose up the nose. But the initial flavor was kind of obvious, and then that high bridge, kind of effect was something totally different. But okay, so I mean, okay, $35 for a blazer, $5 for Heidi Swabs, $80 for MJ Arsenal rig, $70 for Temple Quartz banger, $40 for Mystic Timber dab tool, $15 for carb cap, and $150 for terpometer. That brings us to $435 if my math is right. Don't do math live, ladies and gentlemen. But we still got $65 to spare for sure enough to buy.
Get some alcohol.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
99
ISO.
ISO. A little bucket, you cool. You don't even need to get nothing fancy. You could just use your bowl at home.
Yeah, you can
Little
get. I mean, you get a
Tupperware.
gallon of that at a hardware store for like $30. But you can also get it off the store shelf at a lot of places for like a pint of it for like what, $7, something like that.
11. Probably $11 now.
Yeah, seriously, the way everything's going.
Right.
Facts.
Another alternative too for kind of a beginner setup. I like the Bear Quartz boxes that they sell.
Yeah.
Just a
I
cheap
could
little
have shouted
rig,
them out.
a good banger, carb cap. It's a good starter rig, like to see, because some people, $500, that's quite the budget to drop for something's already going to cost you more to do, right?
Right. So you could get a an all-in-one kit that's like under $200. It's the Stash product Rio. It's just a little choo-choo train. Mine's in my car right now. So I couldn't show you, but
I'm kind of thinking not like your everyday dabber, right? These are
it would
your
be
occasional
easier. It
once
would
a
be
week dabber.
easier. It'd be easier for not your everyday dabber to get this device, because if they were looking for the torch and the quartz kind of feel, it does give it to you because it is a quartz banger on there, but it's literally all in one contraption.
All in one.
And so it just makes it easy. All you do is just turn the knob, press the flame on. The banger sits right above the flame, and it's just, it's a cold start rig, and you put your carb cap on, and then you just fucking hit it. I mean, it's super easy.
Nice. That's
so
cool.
And that's under $200. It's got everything in it. It's got a dab tool in there. The only thing you would need is some butane, which we didn't.
Then just little.
Yeah, which we didn't add to the list. Butane. Gotta add that to the list.
And got everything. Ain't got no way to start your torch.
Yeah, right. Torch
I buy
doesn't come
the-
with it filled up.
The boxes of what are 20 from Amazon. Just the cheapest I can find it. Gosh, man, if I buy and in town, they'll sell you little tiny bottles and it'll be 10, $20. But you get the case of 20 of these and it's $20.
Yep. Yep. Those are worth it.
Gotta love Amazon.
They got it all. They got it all.
Soon we'll be seeing rigs and all of it.
Yep. Speaking of Amazon, I'll send you a link. I got this little store I'm opening. They got a bunch of products on there you might like too. You can only get them through this link that I got going. It's just this new little business I'm starting. It's cool.
That's awesome.
I gotta keep it on the
like
DL. It's only for exclusive people. It can't be everybody. You know what
is
I'm
it
saying?
You're shipping the product?
Yep,
Or is
we'll-
it,
we'll
so it's
ship-
not
it's-
FBA type of
It comes out of a warehouse. The warehouse is in Michigan, but it ships out
nice.
pretty quick shipping as far as I know, and our return policy is 100%. If you don't like the product, you can return it, no questions asked. If it's damaged, whatever, you get your money back, or you can get replace the product. So
Very cool.
yeah, very easy to work with.
Love it.
Yep. And it doesn't affect me at all either. So if you don't like the product, you don't buy it. There's 350 products on the entire website, and I'm sure you'll find one of them. One of the products I really enjoy is this energy drink that I've been drinking. I don't even think I got any more because I didn't drink them all, but I just got a new order coming in. So but yeah, they make a really good energy drink and some protein drinks, and I can't find them anywhere. Tastes like a regular soda, but there's no sugar in it, and it's just great. It's a product. When I love something, I want to buy it and figure out how I can get it and give it to other people. So, which is why
That's what it's about,
good,
man.
good things.
What's one of your favorite products you've come across, man? Because you've like reviewed and tested and promoted. I mean, so many different products over the years, but you got to have like a couple that really stand out to you. Whether or not they were, necessarily affordable or priced right or whatever. What were some of your favorites, regardless of that?
You mean like device wise, or
Just
like
anything cannabis
consumed?
related? You know what I mean? I mean, obviously, dude. Like, let's just stop and take a moment to appreciate that dab table you have again, because that thing is sick. It's custom as shit. It's more than, I mean, I've been dabbing for 8 years or whatever, and I've never had anything like that. I'm kind of jealous of it, not gonna lie, but you know what I mean? Like something like that is pretty sick. But it could be anything. Could be a rig, could be electronic device, could be a laser beam that sends the dab to space. I don't know.
I guess, I mean, I hate to say it, but like at the beginning of the time, I would say the Puffco device was the breakthrough device for me. That was the one that really got me started doing reviews, because I saw it and I was like, my spirit was like, that's the device. When it comes out, I'm going to be talking about it. I need to be the guy on it, and no one else is going to really be, know what to fucking say, but I'm going to fucking crush a review on it. And I did. I filled basically what you would say a football stadium fill worth of views on one of my Puffco videos, which is, in my opinion, is good. It's good exposure for a product, but it also launched an entire industry of people's ideas playing off of that product to spawn all these other products. Whether
True.
people want to say it or not, you kind of gotta, give the dues where they're, pay
Oh
them
yeah,
where they
they were the original inspiration. I mean, there's some smaller electronic devices, but nothing like that,
Yep. So that's definitely the one that I think was the wowie for me. I guess it's the wow factor's gone down a little bit since, because I've gotten so involved in it. I've been trying to create my own wow factor. So I guess my wow factor really would be the tray that I created, the products that I create are actually the ones that I feel are, you know, the shit. Like those are the ones that I feel like, because without, you know, you're right though, out there, without all these other devices, you know, this wouldn't have even been born. But I think there's still potential for it to be a great product still in the future for me to continue to market it and rebuild and manufacture it differently.
Are you familiar with the new one, the new Peak?
Mhm.
That's only $220. I haven't like tried it myself or anything, but I mean that's a significant price difference if we're honest with
Yeah,
ourselves.
so the chamber is gonna hit something like their little Sherlock Holmes pipe. I forget what the name of it is because I don't use their shit anymore.
Proxy, right?
Yeah, the proxy. Yeah. So it's gonna hit just like that, because of how small the chamber is. I was gonna buy one just because of that price point at Champs Trade Show. I was like, you
Mhm.
know, let me try them out again. You know, after all these years, because they stole the product from me. Anyways, but anyways, I fucked with them for a while, but once they didn't replace one of my broken products, I was like, you know what, I'm done buying them.
Yeah, a lot of people had some customer service issues there. It just seemed like I never experienced it, but I mean, I am on fucking Peak number 3 now, so
I was
it
bummed
is.
because I was gonna pick one up, but the Pro doesn't come in the blue that the normal one does, and I wanted
See,
the
when
Pro.
you buy the Pro, they're gonna make you spend the extra $100 on the chamber that you really
Yep.
want, and so
Yeah.
this is what I mean. They're like playing
Or just
this.
be like being a cheap ass, don't upgrade it because it hasn't died on you yet, so you're just still rocking the original 3D, not 3D XL. But one day eventually it's gonna die, right? I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep keeping it clean.
I always feel like eventually the people who wanted that bigger chamber are already gonna want the bigger chamber anyways as well. And you know what's funny about that XO? That name, a long time ago, the first year, I made a post and I said Puffco Peak is gonna make an XO version. And they did, these motherfuckers. So they're not one idea, but two ideas that I kind of threw out there. They kind of stole and never. I'm salty, but I'm not salty. You know what I'm saying? It's part of the industry. It is what it is. But no, they that XL is, you know, you're gonna pay another $100, so you're paying $500 for that rig now.
Yeah, it all
Yeah.
adds up. There's a lot to it.
So there's your $500 budget.
Yeah.
Right. And you still need Q-tips and alcohol.
You still they come with some
No, we
Q-tips.
got Q-tips, and I think
They
we
come
got
they
Q-tips.
come with 3. So
Oh no, I was saying if
different
we-
budget. Yeah.
Yeah.
they come
I
with 3
got you.
Q-tips.
There you go.
3. Yeah.
Hit
You're
3
right.
dabs
That's
in,
funny.
You gotta reload.
Maybe
That's
4.
really funny. Yeah, well, that's like 1 gram for some of us, right? So relax, guys.
All right. I got this Squirto Clem over here though.
So tell me about your opinions of what the new flavors, you know?
The wasabi, that one's pretty interesting. I like that one a lot. It's kind of got like a the only way I could really describe it at this moment, because I'm high as hell, is the back end of it's got like this like dirty like funkiness to it that I really love.
Okay.
And it's got like a deeper body high for me for some reason.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
The squirt, like I said earlier, is very spicy, and as soon as I hit it, I was like, this one is getting me. So I like it. I love them all, right? But I noticed that spice with that squirt, and then like we just talked about with the Squirtle Clem, it's very smooth. It's the same kind of profile, but it's like it's just like it's just a little smoother. It's just a little.
It's almost
Doesn't
like
have that same bite to it. It's
and it's like the like you get all the flavors of the 2 different strains, but it's not like it changes throughout. Like sometimes the flavor changes. You know what I mean? Like as like maybe the front end is super citrusy and then the back end is gas, or like the garlic punch, right? It's super GMO, but it has that berry finish to it. And you're like, oh, that's a weird kind of combination there, you know. But the Squirta Clem is one of those ones where it's just like the whole way through and through, it's just that flavor, that one solid flavor that somehow combined to make whatever it is, It doesn't like change or fluctuate on me at all.
Yeah, it's let me smell it again. Yeah, I can really smell that Clem in there too. I love that shit.
Yeah, and I really thought it was going to be overpowering, honestly, the Clem. I really thought it was going to overpower it. And it didn't. It almost took not a backseat, just like it's like sitting there in the
It's a
passenger
side
seat.
seat. It's a
Yeah,
side
it's-
seat. It's literally like it
Complimentary.
hits one nasal
Yeah.
and then the squirt it like goes in like that strong little and then the Clem goes.
Got some
love
weird ASMR going on over there.
Yeah, for sure. That's how you got to do it. All right, this shit is fucking bomb, man. I wish I had the other ones. Yeah, I left them. In my, I probably shouldn't say. Somebody gonna go try and find my car. I left them in my car. Damn it! I got my car brakes. I'm getting the brakes done, and I accidentally left the lime skunk and the wasabi.
Oh no, they're gonna think that's a tip, bro.
No, it's hidden in there.
How are you gonna hide lime skunk? You better have that shit in the fucking back
in the-
sealed bag.
It's in the you dig. I probably shouldn't be saying this. Somebody gonna try to go find my car.
I'm over here. Describe what kind of car you drive.
I drive a Toyota Corolla pink, license plate SABER 115, which is a big lie. So you'll never find my car, motherfuckers. I never posted a picture of my car.
Yeah, right. Gotta stay vigilant. I'm curious to know what you guys think of this.
I've been seeing a lot of centrifuge tech lately.
Whoa. They separate that shit? Yes, they did.
Sorry, that music was really loud.
That should look good.
Right? I mean, I'm not mad about it.
I just smoked that
No,
whole jar.
It's a great process.
Dude, that whole jar looks great.
Yeah. No, it mechanical separation and just
Mhm.
you can keep it cold. You can
just take the whole jar and shake it.
No, you gotta do the pile and just face plant in it like
Shaking that
Scarface.
Tony Montana.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, put it on
exactly.
there as a mount and fucking.
Say hello to my little friend.
So yeah, I don't. So basically, that's a centrifuge process of separating the THCA that has crashed out and crystallized in a sauce form of hydrocarbon extract and probably others. Honestly, I think you could probably do it with maybe rosin too, but that's where I want to kind of get to because
I've seen it done with rosin.
Yeah, and it's it basically it looks like a pretty simple micron filter packed with the extract thrown in these stainless steel vessels, and all you're doing is really like forcing with gravity the liquid out of that kind of solid and into that I guess vessel, if you will, that's been
It's
kind of
just
separated
it's
out.
like a double vessel, right? The inner
Mhm.
vessel has holes, so it's got larger screen holes, and then
Mhm.
you've got the nylon mesh or whatever.
Yeah, I would
type
assume
of mesh.
nylon.
Yeah. It's an interesting process. I think it's cool because there's nothing else involved. It's just
Mhm.
such a simple process, and the fact that we can separate it that cleanly, there's a lot of use for it.
Yeah, big time. But
That's
what kind of uses are we talking about? Because when we start breaking it down to this level of Tony Montana piles of THCA, does it just become an ingredient at that point, or are we actually using that whatever that finished product is?
yeah. I mean, we need more data. That's what it comes down to. We need trials, and we need to understand more about terpenes and cannabinoids, so that and the combination of them.
I can help you with those trials. I'll just
Right, I know,
Volunteers tribute.
But
sacrifice.
yeah, that's why, like, if we ever get federal legalization, we'll need to see the R&D take off, because that's where you're going to see the medical benefits really advance.
All right, answer me this, gentlemen. Spartan says, why do we want to pull the terps away from the cannabinoids?
We don't know, and that's really the question.
I don't.
Well, no, there's what are the uses that we don't know of is more the way I'm saying it. So
that you can kind of,
we don't know what else we may end up being able to create by taking it that extra level.
and also that you can kind of pinpoint certain effects, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
that's the main. I thought that was the main reason, so we can kind of.
I would imagine at some
commercial
point,
level, it's not, but
right? Yeah, this is not for commercial for sure. I'm more talking research level. Being able to isolate, and then I don't even know how you do that, and you might know better than I, for Groli. Kind of like oil water separation. Can you separate separate terpenes by their specific weights?
You can fraction them off through distillation, and it's not necessarily through weight, it's through evaporation points. It's a very tedious process,
right? But for
as you
research,
can imagine. Yeah, but for research, I mean, and technically with the technology we have today, you could absolutely automate it, especially if we're talking about, AI, like we were talking about, right? And learning AI versus just, ones and zeros and ifs and thens and stuff like that. Like, there's potentially some really crazy things you could do. I've got 2 bags of those in front of my desk right now. It's so tasty. But yeah, I mean, why would we want to separate the terps? I mean, personally, me, I don't. I would. I don't want to remove them. I could see separating them for the novelty of the product, and maybe splitting the THCA into one side of a jar, and you got the terps in the other jar, and you can kind of have some fun with it or whatever like that. But in terms of a finished product, I'm not trying to remove the terpenes or any part of the cannabinoids or anything. I'm really trying to collect the essence of the plant as it's alive on harvest day, right? And so that's capturing as much of that as I possibly can without evaporating or distilling or sublimating it off or losing it by any means. So, but like Superior's saying, there could be a lot of uses for this. Maybe a lot of research, but...
Yeah, what about also, say, in edibles, pulling the terps off for a baked product?
So that's a huge in the craft side of things. I would say that's a huge thing, right? Because while this could, again, while we're scaling up like this, you could potentially, go from the craft to commercial side, with this type of scalability. But one example would be like my terp cookies, right? So you could take those terpenes, whip them into the frosting, take the THCA, decarboxylate them, and now you've got the active ingredient that's in the cookie.
That's what I was thinking.
Similar to what I'm doing.
Just like flour.
Right. And you're not losing. Actually, it has pretty little taste.
You still have the mix of the two.
Yes. And you still have the original composition of the plant, which I think is very important too.
Down and right back, right? It's
right. And the reason you would want to do that is because you have to go through the decarboxylation process to be able to create an edible that actually gives you an effect, right? You have to activate that active ingredient. But when you do that, the process of that looks like heating it up. And when you heat it up, you have to go past the point at which your terpenes, or at least most of them, are going to be boiling off. So unless you're doing some other form of, cold capture or something like that, or trying to capture those terps and, I don't know, saving them somehow, right, to be used later, like the more than likely you're just burning them off. So if you're not separating out those terps prior to that, you're not really able to save them. And that's one way you could activate the THCA into THC and also be able to maintain those terps, which I think is a pretty cool thing because you can do a lot. You can do a lot with that while still maintaining the flavor and having an active product. But we're talking edibles. That's
Yeah,
kind of
and especially when you're talking like you had the lime skunk cookies, right?
Mhm.
Where in dab form for me the lime is sharp, but I
Right.
imagine in a cookie it fits the profile you want. You want that strong flavor. And
definitely. Yeah, you want. I mean, that's the point of the cookie is for that flavor to come through.
Mhm.
Speaking of lime skunk, I did run some lime skunk today. I figured I'd share this with you guys. This is just the scrape of the stainless steel bottom.
You gonna dab that?
Not yet, because it's not purged enough to. You can see it's still pretty viscous.
might lose the beard if he does that.
yeah. Don't want to start no beards on fire. Spartan knows all about that one, right?
Let's put some
I forgot about that.
put some plastic wrap around it and just send it my way. By the time it gets here, it'll be fine.
You're not wrong.
Hot mail truck will take care of it.
Yeah, well, not too hot nowadays, but
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
save the terps.
It's still
dab
strangely
it,
warm
dab it.
though.
Yeah, actually, you're right about that, man. So, I don't recall I mean, I know it's snowed on Halloween before many times growing up. That doesn't, never stuck or anything like that, but it definitely was there. I've also remember a lot of, early Novembers that were what I would call a typical fall, which means a lot of wet, cold days, not necessarily snowy or anything like that. But yeah, it seems like it's unseasonably warm right now.
Yeah. Most of the time, most of my memories I'm looking at right now, we have snow on the ground by now.
There you go.
I don't like snow on the ground.
This was 5
Not
years
my
ago.
favorite. Oh boy.
Yeah, man.
So
That's
Don't look
that's
forward
a
to
foot
that
of snow.
but
At
then
least.
again, I've got two times where on December 1st, when the trails opened back up, I was out riding the Razor. So it's kind of back and forth the past couple years.
I see
Cheers,
Pedro in
Pedro.
chat. Yeah,
Yep.
cheers, man. He's
Hope the daughter's okay.
yeah,
That's always
sending to some family stuff, but the little wild ones, man.
I told you about our son and the dog colliding, and he cleanly lost the tooth.
Oh,
Like completely. The dentist was like, "What? Like it's completely clean." Hey.
God.
That's wild.
Oh.
Was
Oh no!
it a final tooth or like a baby
No,
tooth?
baby teeth. So
Oh, okay.
He's a young blood.
yep, he just got the funny smile for a while.
Yeah, well, that's the next like 5 years for him. Yeah,
I know, right?
I definitely busted some front teeth growing up on
Yeah.
a slide, actually, a metal slide. Boom.
Ooh, I have matching scars across my chin. They
Oh, really?
crisscross. One from a bicycle where I just went over and bit the pavement, and the other from ice. When you're sitting at the bus stop playing on the ice, running and sliding, and your friends are like, "But you can't do a 360." Bet I can. Hey, guess what? I couldn't.
Bless the
landed it
universe. I
for a
haven't
half
had
a
to fall on my face yet.
second.
Although I do get punches thrown at it.
That's pretty good bobbing and weaving there. Someone spent some time at the gym, huh?
Not bad, right?
I'm impressed.
Pretty quick. But watch out now.
I'll be over here doing rainbows with my head and shit. Like,
I'd probably pull something if I tried it. So I ain't even.
all of a sudden, Spears' head just pops right off. What's happening?
Yeah. Neck stuck.
So I have to ask it because we're only 4 days post-election. But do you think this election will have any serious impact, either positive or negatively, on the cannabis industry, because I asked the Michigan Bros Grow Show, I think it was last week, like if you're a one issue voter, like I know some people are, whether that's name your issue, right? If you're a one issue voter and cannabis is your one issue, whether that means legalization, decriminalization, just give me my weed, whatever that looks like, who's the better candidate to choose? Now, that doesn't matter now because our candidate has been chosen, and I don't think we ever really came up with a solid answer. But, I mean, how you guys feeling about the way this could potentially go over the next 4 years? Is that something you want to get into? I know this can make for a very awkward conversation, but hey, fuck it.
I'll take part in it. I don't talk too much about politics, but what I will say is what my opinion on what might happen is I don't feel much will happen other than the industry is going to continue on the path that it's supposed to go. I don't think much can change that. It may only get a little better unless there's a document that hits office that Trump doesn't want to pass. Other than that, I think we're going to continue to see the industry
I think
move
it was
forward.
probably a lot of lip service, just campaign promises that we're not going to see much movement on.
I don't think I've ever noticed my life change since one president has gotten to the office.
That's what I've always said.
Except for taxes going up a bit and having to make now that we have Obamacare stuff that you have to have insurance. That's like the first thing that's really ever affected me.
Yeah, it's rare that it's a major effect to your daily life.
Right.
Just live your life and control what you can control.
One thing you can't control is the stock price, and I'll tell you what, they did not like that this week, and I don't think that was necessarily related to Trump. I think this is related to more Florida, and
that was Florida.
Yeah. Was it Proposal 3 or whatever it was called?
Did they go down?
Yeah,
they went down.
They were on board with Proposal 3.
Yeah, and when Proposal 3 did not pass with the 60% in Florida as it needs to pass, I think it was at like 55% approval rate or something, which again is still a majority, but like we see in Florida over and over again, you got to pass with the 60% to make it count. Now, again, if you zoom out, look at the year to date, that's kind of nothing, right? I mean, they're just going more off the cliff, I guess, here. But it's, but I thought that was worth noting. I don't think that's related to the federal election. I think that's more related to Florida. But props to you, Floridians, for not passing that shit, man. Honestly, that would have just made it worse for you guys down there, in my opinion. But I'm not voting down there, so have at it, guys.
Yeah, it's wild how you can go across state lines and do one thing, but can't do it in another state.
I mean, look at the state between you and I, brother. Ain't shit happening there. Whoo!
I know. Indiana.
And honestly, the state between Superior and you too, if you want to go through that route. I mean, Wisconsin is not exactly doing the greatest,
yeah, they're not
either.
Pretty
far behind too.
Man.
And what were the other ones that failed? It was North and South Dakota and Nebraska, or did one of them pass?
I don't think they all failed. I
think one of them or two of them passed. I
thought there was like 6 states with some form of.
I think Texas just kind of legalized.
Dallas.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think they just did some type of legalization.
That Dallas has more cannabis wins than the Cowboys.
Oh wow!
Shots
Their
fired.
team is really bad. Actually, I don't watch football very much, but I watched it the other day, and it was like I was not.
We got the Lions this year.
They're not doing very well.
Yeah, how crazy is that, man? What are they? 7-1 or something like that right now. Like
I know it's habit. It's hard to not start with a low number first. I know. It's been a long
get my
time.
hopes up and shit.
Yeah, the Lions are crazy. They've been scoring a lot of points.
They're killing people on points. Yeah. So Nebraska passed 2.
So it makes you wonder, like, dude, they're probably gonna just go take the championship this year. They keep playing like that.
See them in the Super Bowl.
They deserve to win it playing like that, man. They've been killing it.
So here's our results.
Marijuana drug policy on the ballot.
So Nebraska did medical and established a medical cannabis commission. Florida's 3 was no. North and South Dakota were no. And Massachusetts with psychedelics.
Oh,
No.
interesting.
Psychedelics.
I wonder what the vote percentages was on that Massachusetts.
Right
Question.
here.
Oh, there we go.
57.1 to 42.9. So not
So this proposal will allow people 21 and over to grow, use, and possess the following substances: psilocybin, psilocin, dimethyltryptamine, mescaline, ibogaine. These psychedelic drugs would only be available for purchase at approved locations and for use while a licensed facilitator supervises, which is
that's
interesting. That last
interesting.
part, yeah. So they're basically they were gonna create clinics.
yeah.
So it's not like a dispenser where you could just go walk in and buy some weed and some edibles or whatever. You have to actually go like
Book a
take
session.
it there. Yeah. You know, I don't know, steps and directions, like Professor
Right.
Dab said. You know, like it's got to move in the right
I
direction.
mean,
It just has to, like, when you think about like what most people want to do, like in terms of creation, it doesn't stop. You can't really stop somebody creating, especially specifically when you want something in the universe. The way the universe works is if you want
Yeah.
it bad enough, you go and get it. All right. So like you can't really stop something bad enough if you want to, though, right? That's not really, you don't have that power, but you can definitely do or create something bad enough if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
So like all these creations right now, right? This is what I would call these things. This falls in the line of creation, things that are happening, being made. It just can't stop. It can only evolve.
Look at you, Nebraska. That's
a number
fantastic. I mean, that's pretty impressive.
on both their measures, which is interesting because
70
they
to 67.
complementary. This legalizes medical, and this establishes the medical cannabis commission.
Yeah, but I would vote for the first one and not the second one too. I don't want the government reigning over my cannabis. Just give me the ability to grow it.
That's
and,
true.
Okay. It
Okay.
should have been
Medical
I see how it's
cannabis
separate now,
commission.
So that tells me there's only about 36,000 voters that were actually really educated on that topic in Nebraska. And the other 590,000 of you just want to smoke weed.
Yep.
I love it. You gotta start somewhere.
That's good to see, though. I mean, in Nebraska of all places. Now,
seriously,
South Dakota,
not so much.
Not so much. I was just looking at the breakdown of counties, but I don't know how big Rapid City is. I don't know how big South Dakota cities are. I almost call them all towns.
Yeah, I know. I started zooming in on the Massachusetts map, and I'm like, why are like some of these areas so anti and so for it? You know, I usually see like the city centers tend to be more, blue voting or whatever, but when it comes to cannabis measures, that's not always the case.
That's an interesting.
Just gotta get people voting for. If that's when, I guess, when votes kind of matter, really, right? When you're trying to legalize stuff for what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you don't know what's going on, then you don't know to vote.
It's true. That's true. There was no ballot measures or anything crazy this year in Michigan. So,
yep.
I'll be honest with you. I don't even watch the news. So when they said there was an election coming up, like,
whoops.
I was like, what election? When? Who?
Oh, is it November on an even year?
And they were like,
doing this again?
They're like, damn, Trump is running. I'm like, again?
Like,
because I really don't watch the news. I just don't put any energy into that shit. But
that's why I moved to the middle of nowhere. But man, did my phone not stop blowing up.
It's just because it doesn't fucking affect me. I'm still gonna be doing whatever the fuck I want to do.
The world
turns to shit real quick.
Right. Yeah, then yeah, that's a whole different story. But I didn't. My phone didn't get blown up, and I don't know if it's the a Google or
My Pixel
Samsung,
blocked
Verizon, Apple, whatever.
99% of them. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't think I got actually any of them through to my text messaging, but I'll tell you what, I could stack flyers taller than I am this year, like in what I got in the mail. The freaking postcards, the number of, I mean, we were getting 7 or 8 a day
Oh my
every
gosh.
single day. It's like, what, guys, chill out, save the trees.
My my phone log.
Yeah, all the
is
spam.
The spam texts.
like a
Kamala
full
Harris.
screen of Donald Trump.
Oh wow.
Just all day.
The Don's
2 days
texting
before.
me. I gotta respond.
So I wonder, do you only get like certain ones, or do you get both?
It depends on if you're registered one way or another. It
So-
depends. Yeah.
Oh,
I ended
that's
up
where
in
they,
both.
Depends on
the
your
I ended up on
geographical
both
got my
demographics.
damn number. These motherfuckers. Of course.
I registered one way when I was a kid, and then some person up here was like, "Hey, can you do me a favor?" And I said yes, and then somehow they registered me for the other party, so now I'm on both rolls, and it sucks.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. Grateful's with me.
Yep. Stack them high. All right. Well, I think that's where we're going to call it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I really appreciate everybody joining us. I think, actually, I don't know.
I don't know
think
if we'll
we'll
be
be
back
back.
next week.
Yeah, I'm
I
not
think
sure
we're
if
gonna
we
be
will or
hands
not.
off.
We're back to hunting season around these parts. So while Pedro was out doing it, now it's time back here in Michigan to do it, and we'll see where we go from there. But we'll be back soon. Professor, appreciate you joining us tonight. Why don't
Cheers,
you give
Professor.
everybody a shout out to where we can find you online and beyond?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram, mainly Professor Dabs, with a Z, ProfessorDabz. And on YouTube, the Professor Dab. So yeah.
I love it.
pretty much
How many times have you had to say your name out loud to get it down that pat? Because I can do it, FREGROWLI, but Superior. Say your name, spell it real quick, fast, go.
Huh.
Yeah, see, it's hard. It's hard.
I don't
It's
wanna
hard to like,
spell- Well, but I mean,
but you don't
mine
have
is
to spell
longer than
your.
yours.
Yeah, but you also don't have to spell it because it's not a weird like
Yeah, that's
name. Or it's
true.
not. It doesn't have a weird spelling or anything like that. Like if there was a Z, on the Superior Buds with a Z, you'd have to spell it like that because people won't know where to
Yeah.
find you. They'd be typing Superior Lakes or Superior.
I've been doing
Nugs or-
branding and marketing for so long and
Keep it
created
simple,
so many
stupid.
different businesses. I've mentored so many startups and watched the most ridiculous names get mixed up with something completely stupid because they did zero research on
Mhm.
how it sounded when you told someone and then what they Googled to find you
Oh yeah.
and where they ended up.
Phonetics are a thing, and with that, we love you all. We'll see you guys next time.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.